My NFL picks sucked last week, but I won't let one poor week destroy my confidence following 8 years of success. We are going to bounce back big time, so let's work towards this goal together. In this video, I will reveal a pick on sides and totals for each game that will take place on Sunday in Week 2. I'm making separate videos for the Thursday and Monday games. Before we get started, I've got great news for you. I will run 2 contests every single week that are both free to enter and where you can win a $100 cash prize. The first one is very simple. Just predict the exact score of the Sunday night game. The only way to enter is by posting your prediction below in the comments. More precisely, tell us the exact score of the Falcons-Vikings matchup. If 2 people get it right, they will split the $100 prize evenly. If more than 2 persons get a perfect prediction, I will award $50 randomly to a couple of them, while giving away access to my premium picks for a full week to the other winners. I will tell you about the second free NFL contest at the end of this video, so stick around, my friend. For now, let's get started with this week's betting tips. My best bet in the Jaguars-Bengals game is over 48.5 points to be scored. This betting tip receives the grade B. To me, both defenses are very weak. It did not show too much last week because both clubs were facing bad offenses. Indeed, Jacksonville slowed down the Panthers, whereas the Bengals limited the damage in Cleveland. However, their defensive issues will be on full display this upcoming weekend. Travis Etienne was fantastic last week by accumulating 143 rushing yards. The team traded Tank Bigsby, which opens the door for rookie Bashal Tutin, who's had a great camp. Trevor Lawrence is expected to do better with the arrival of Liam Cohen, and Lawrence has many great tools at his disposal. Joe Burrow has been held under 200 passing yards on 14 occasions in his career. In the next game, he has averaged 298 passing yards along with 2.1 TDs and 0.6 interceptions in those matches. In other words, he tends to bounce back very strongly after a difficult outing. Last week, he obtained just 113 yards through the air in Cleveland. The Jaguars allowed the highest number of passing yards last year, and I don't think they have fixed that area during the offseason. For these reasons, I expect some fireworks in this game. We have a NFC East battle featuring the Giants and the Cowboys in Dallas. After doing my due diligence, I have decided to take the Cowboys with the -5.5 point spread. This pick is rated B as well. Fading the G-Man as long as Russell Wilson is under center is an enticing idea. He looked awful last week against a defense that is not projected to be so good. And he's playing behind a poor offensive line. Meanwhile, America's team looked a lot better despite their loss in Philadelphia. Dak Prescott played better than his numbers indicate. The same could be said about running back Javonte Williams, who ran with confidence. Moreover, the Cowboys will benefit from 3 extra days of rest since they played last Thursday. The Giants will be on the road for the second consecutive week, which is not easy. New York also lost the guy who led the team for the number of tackles in 2024. Linebacker Micah McFadden. I expect a pretty easy victory by Dallas in this contest. Let's move on to an interesting NFC North battle between the Bears and the Lions. Both teams are 0-1 right now, and Detroit is favored to win by 6 points. It was not an easy decision, but I've decided to go with Chicago plus 6 points. Given my lower confidence level, I am rating it C. Can we trust Caleb Williams yet? The jury is still out on this one. After a hot start against a tough Minnesota defense, Williams faltered down the stretch on Monday night. He was inconsistent when throwing the ball, but at least he was good with his legs, rushing for 58 yards across 6 attempts. I also like the fact that Ben Johnson will be super motivated to beat his former team, which means his players are likely to put the extra effort. But I do have some concerns here. The Lions tend to look vastly different at home. I'm also worried about betting against an elite team coming off a straight-up loss, since they tend to play with more passion in their next contest. Also, the Bears get one fewer day of rest and preparation after playing last Monday. Still, I believe Chicago will do enough to cover this 6-point spread. Here comes my first premium pick, which means it is graded A. I am definitely betting the Tennessee Titans plus 3.5 points during the first half of their game against the Rams. Los Angeles did not click on offense last week. Granted, they were squaring off against a stout Houston defense, but Tennessee's unit is not bad either. They ranked in second place last year in terms of total yards allowed. We also have a team from the West Coast that will be forced to play an early 1 p.m. game, which corresponds to 10 a.m. body clock. That is not an ideal scenario for the Rams, who could get off to a slow start, which explains why I prefer to stick with the first half spread rather than the full game. Rookie Cam Ward looked a bit overwhelmed in his first start, but let's cut him some slack. Making your NFL debut on the road against possibly the best defense in the NFL was a tough task to handle. Now playing at home against an easier defense, although a good one, will allow him to shine more. He did not run a single time last week, why not give it a shot this Sunday? He has the athleticism to do it. Calvin Ridley was shut down by Patrick Surtain. He should have more space this week. It won't be easy for the Rams to lead by 4 points or more at halftime. I see them getting off to a slow start before possibly doing better in the second portion of the game. I am taking the Titans plus 3.5 points in the first half. Up next, we have the Patriots versus Dolphins matchup. This is where I have my weekly LOBSTER bet, my highest confidence play of week 2. In order to gain access to it, just follow the link in the comments section. You can choose between a package that comes with a money-back guarantee or not. This play has generated a 7-3 record since I began doing this last year. In the San Francisco-New Orleans game, I will go with the Niners minus 4.5 with a grade of C. We have more uncertainty surrounding this game due to injuries to QB Brock Purdy and wide receiver Jawan Jennings. Will they play or not? At the time that I'm recording this video, it sounds like Purdy will be replaced by Mac Jones, whereas Jennings might suit up for this game. However, one thing is for certain, George Kittle is out. That certainly hurts this team that's already missing Brandon Ayuk for a while. They signed Kendrick Bourne to provide an extra weapon to its signal caller. In 10 games with Jacksonville last year, Mac Jones tossed 8 TD passes versus 8 interceptions. That's not very good. Still, I will trust the Niners to get the job done. They are still facing what I believe is the worst NFL club, and San Francisco is a well-coached team. Spencer Rattler did better than expected last week, but his lifetime record is 0-7 as a starter. His best wideout, Chris Olave, visited the medical tent on multiple occasions last week. His health is not so good, so I expect the Niners to roll in this match. The Bills pulled off a stunning comeback last Sunday night against the Ravens. After such an emotional victory, could they experience a bit of a letdown here? I think so, especially in the first half. For this reason, I am betting the Jets plus 3.5 points for the first half. Josh Allen has struggled at MetLife Stadium in recent years. He's lost 2 of his past 3 visits to the Jets. Justin Fields had one of his best games as a pro last week, connecting often with college teammate Garrett Wilson. And that was against a stingy Steelers defense. Buffalo's defense looked anything but stingy last week against Baltimore. Also, running back Breece Hall was explosive and strong in Week 1. He was also the number 2 target for Fields. He's a threat to score from anywhere on the field. In fact, the Jets ranked 4th in terms of EPA per play. The team used its weapons to the best of their ability. To me, this will be a hard-fought battle. Maybe the Bills will pull away in the second half, but it should be tight at halftime. Next, I will go with the Steelers minus 2.5 points at home against Seattle. This play is graded B. Sam Darnold looked like the former Jets QB. The run game could not get going, and Cooper Kupp looked washed. Outside of Jackson, Smith, and Jiba, Seattle's offense had no punch. And now they are about to travel to Pittsburgh? Good luck with that. Aaron Rodgers was hampered by some injuries during the first portion of the 2024 season. Then he displayed great performances in his final 6 games of the season, and he continued to show he's not done after watching him dissect New York last week. He looked sharp, although he needs his offensive line to protect him well because he doesn't move very well in the pocket. DK Metcalf would be facing his former team. He is clearly going to motivate his teammates to get the W for him. This is another game where we have a team from the West Coast playing an early 1 p.m. game. I really like Pittsburgh to beat the spread here. My next pick receives the grade B. I am backing Baltimore minus 6.5 points during the first half. This time, I will follow the betting system suggesting to support elite teams that are coming off a straight-up loss. Derrick Henry showed no signs of slowing down despite being 31 years old. Zay Flowers kept getting open downfield. Lamar made good decisions. That being said, I'm concerned about Joe Flacco possibly taking advantage of a defense that gave up the second most passing yards last year, and that got torched by Josh Allen last week. Also, you may be surprised to hear that Cleveland has won 3 of the past 6 meetings between these 2 division rivals. In short, I would not bet my house on the Ravens, despite many people seemingly betting Baltimore in this contest. It's time for another premium pick, which means a play rated A. I like the Colts plus 0.5 point in the first half against Denver. In other words, I am betting Indianapolis to either hold the lead or to be tied with the Broncos at halftime. Bo Nix had an uneven day last week. Did the Titans do a solid job, or was it a sign of a sophomore slump coming up? We'll find out soon. Indy's defense was surprisingly good in Week 1, so I could see them following up on their success, especially in front of a fired-up crowd against a reeling QB. The Colts will be looking to avenge a 31-13 loss to those same Broncos last season. It was said that rookie Tyler Warren would be very much involved in the offense, and those reports were true. He looked up to the task, and he adds yet another good weapon to the Colts. The team scored on all 7 of their possessions against Miami. That clearly won't happen again against a stout Denver defense, but I still think the Colts will be very competitive, especially during the first half. I am unlikely to bet on the Carolina-Arizona matchup, but if forced to do it, I would grab the Panthers plus 6.5. Many signs are telling me to go the other way by taking the Cardinals. They have the revenge factor going their way after suffering a heartbreaking 36-30 overtime loss in Carolina last year. We observed better chemistry between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison. Carolina's defense did not look so good in Week 1. Yet I am siding with the Panthers. Why? Well, are the Cardinals good enough to warrant a 6.5 spread? I'm not so sure. They barely escaped New Orleans with a tight victory against the worst club in the league. If Jawan Johnson is able to secure a late fourth quarter grab, this game would have gone into overtime. I am aware that Bryce Young looked more like the year 1 than the year 2 version of himself. But Chuba Hubbard looked good and rookie Tetairoa McMillan too. I'm not ready to take Arizona with such a large spread, so I will go with Carolina plus 6.5 points. We have a Super Bowl rematch as the Eagles travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. My final pick, graded B, goes to the Eagles to win straight up. What makes this bet scary is the fact that Patrick Mahomes owns a spectacular 14-2 record following a loss in the regular season. But there are too many arguments supporting Philly here. First, the Chiefs' defense is a source of concern. They squandered 394 total yards to the Chargers, and now they are facing possibly a better offense. KC also struggles when it comes to running the football. That makes them one-dimensional and therefore easier to defend. This problem will be enhanced by the fact that both Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy will be out of the lineup. Philadelphia has a 5-1 record against the spread in their past 6 road games. Let's roll with Philly to get the W this weekend. In the Sunday night game, I am opting for the Atlanta Falcons plus 4. Drake London is likely to miss this contest. But the good news is that Darnell Mooney has a good shot to be back on the field for the Falcons. He logged 3 limited practices last week, so he seems on track to return in Week 2. I don't like J.J. McCarthy being such a big favorite in his second NFL start against a team that has many good weapons. Michael Penix has shown very good things in his first 4 games as a pro, and he is supported by a good ground game led by Bijan Robinson. Atlanta's defense did well against a dangerous Tampa Bay offense by limiting them to 260 total yards. McCarthy did win his first NFL start, but don't forget that he looked quite bad through 3 quarters. He led his team to 3 scores in the final quarter, but that's not enough yet to get me overly excited about him. Asking him to beat the Falcons by 5 points or more is a daunting task. Atlanta will also be looking to avenge a 42-21 defeat against those same Vikings last year. The game was tied at 21 points apiece through 3 quarters, but the Falcons committed 3 turnovers, including a couple of picks thrown by Kirk Cousins. It's also worth reminding you as well that the Vikings lose 1 day of preparation after playing last Monday night. Honestly, I was very close from rating it A. In the introduction, I told you I was running a couple of free contests where you could win $100. One of them simply invites you to predict the exact score of the Falcons versus Vikings game. For instance, you may say Vikings to win 24-23. The second contest consists of making a pick against the spread on each game, except the Thursday night matchup. In total, you are going to make 15 selections. You must grade them from 1 to 15. The pick you like the most should receive the grade 15 because if it wins, you earn 15 points. In the end, the contestant with the most points wins $100. As simple as that. The only way to enter is to submit your picks at mjpicks.com. You need to have an account there. It could be a free one or a paid one if you wish to receive all of my premium picks in your mailbox. Both are fine. Then head over to the free contest section and enter your picks. You have nothing to lose, so give it a shot. Also, did you know that by owning a free account at mjpicks.com, you will receive one of my premium picks on each weekday, directly in your mailbox? So, in summary, I invite you to play those 2 free contests where you could win some cash prizes. And remember that you can also boost your bankroll by signing up to gain exclusive access to this week's NFL LOBSTER bet, which is the best wager across the week. I'm Professor MJ, holder of a PhD in statistics and also a bookie destroyer since 1999. Thank you for watching, my friend.